Hello everyone, and let's do a book talk for The Sweetest Revenge. This was written by Lizzy Dent. It is told in first person. This was published in 2023. It is a standalone, and this is an adult romance. There was an audiobook available when I listened to this book. It is narrated by Brittany Presley, and it is 9 hours and 18 minutes on standard one-time speed. What is this book about? So for this one, we are following the main character. Crap, where's my phone? I forgot her name. Let me look it up. Amy. We're following a character by the name of Amy Duffy. We start out with her living in the United States. She works, I want to say it was California, which makes sense because she works for the film industry, whether it's movies and TVs. She has this idea, and she talks to her boyfriend about said idea. And then she finds out some not great news from her boyfriend. She gets mad to the point that she drinks alcohol, gets herself drunk, climbs on top of his car, and pees on the roof of his car. It gets filmed. She falls off the car. Her butt gets shown to the world, and it becomes a viral video. She is humiliated. Then, a little while later, we are now where she is living in London. So she is working for the film industry in London, working specifically with the TV aspect of it, and is trying to put that all beside her. Her family wants her to come home for a certain event. She doesn't want to. She's nervous about it because she thinks that they will hold said event from when she was in California and peed on the man's car, thinks that they will hold it over her head. So she's working, and then, lo and behold, this ex-boyfriend shows up in London, and so she's kind of trying to figure out what his motive is, what's going on there. She meets this other man who lives in London and finds out that this man was on a reality TV show, and now he has some scandal with how he left the show, and she befriends him. They happen to live in the same apartment building, and there's a bit of budding romance there. And you're trying to figure out, does she have ulterior motives with kind of connecting with this guy? Is he going to figure things out? Is he going to think she's taking advantage of him? Things like that. So a little miscommunication. Some things are kept hush-hush when you should probably more likely lay these things out on the table. I will say this does not get sexually explicit. There is one scene where they start to have sex, but it is definitely on the fade to black scene. The language is a bit more rough, as this does take place in London. I have noticed that when books take place in London, the language tends to be more on the rough side compared to when it's in the United States. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just the books that I've been picking up, but the language does tend to be a little bit more rougher when it's overseas. So specifically in England. So I don't know why that is, and maybe it's just the luck of the draw that I've picked up those books. Doesn't mean every book is like that, but it just tends to be that way. Anyway, at least with ones I picked up again. So she's going along, things start to be revealed as far as true motives with certain situations. And then obviously there is the miscommunication trope, someone telling a love interest something and him taking it a certain way, and then Amy having to pick up the pieces, right certain wrongs, learning to stand up for herself, and when to tell a man to shove it and get out of her life. And to say, look, I was wrong and I should have said this earlier and explained things better, and taking accountability for said mistakes. So that's what the book is about. It was funny. I must admit I was giggling throughout this book. This one was I'm like waving this hand, my right hand, and I'm going to have the image over here. So I'm going to start waving this hand. Anyway, I was giggling throughout this book. I found it funny. This was a library book, and I enjoyed the writing. It was comedic, and I want my own copies of books by Lizzy Dent. So I did order one book. I don't remember which one. She's got a couple of them that are out there, but I will eventually get my own physical copy of The Sweetest Revenge at some point. So that's what the book is about. What are your content and your trigger warnings? The language is a little rough. You have, I would say, heavy alcohol drinking to the point that it is excessive. You have lying and cheating, things like that. As far as, so nothing overly dark and things like that. This is very much a lighthearted, so you're not going to have anything too dark. As far as your representation, this is going to be mostly up to your imagination. I don't have anything written down as far as any racial diversity. It might have mentioned at one point someone having darker skin, but that's going to be the extent of it. So it's pretty much up to your imagination as far as representation goes. If I remember right, I do believe there is LGBT. Let me look at my review. Backstabbing and explicit language. I don't even have anything written down on my review for representation. So, okay. We won't worry about that. Now let's go ahead and move on. I didn't write how many pages this one was. So let me look at Goodreads. I am just lacking with information today. Okay, so you're looking at about 365-ish pages for the paperback book. So, keeping that in the back of your mind, I'm going to tell you the words that were used. Again, it does get a little vulgar. I'll tell you the words that were used, how often they come up. There's always a chance I could have missed some, but I'll tell you how often these words come up. That way you know if this passes your tolerance threshold, so that you know to avoid the book or to go ahead and pick it up. We have the following words: damn, 13, asshole, 8, God, 54, not in a religious context, dick, 3, blowjob, once, hell, 45, shit, 51, prick, once, son of a bitch, once, ass, 8, ballbuster, 3, boobs, 6, the phrase goddamn, 3 times, screw, 3 times, and that's not always used in a sexual contents. It could just be, oh, I'd made this mistake and now my job is screwed, type of a thing. But I know that word really bothers some people. It bothers my mom a lot, so I know it bothers, it's not just her, so I know it'll bother some people. Anyway, moving on, we have bastard, 4 times, piss, 13. Again, this could not necessarily be peeing, but like getting pissed. I think in London it's like that means you're drunk, so far gone. Pissed, I'm mad, angry, things like that. So again, a lot of people do not like that word. The word bloody, 8, and I use this one in reference to how it is used in London as more of a curse word rather than clothes being bloody and just being soaked with blood. So bloody more as the curse word. The word God, 1 time, but this one with a lowercase g, so more mythological usage. Turn on, so someone being sexually turned on, 3 times. Shitload, once. Cunt, 7. Bullshit, 3. Erotic, 3. Big ass, twice. Bitch, 4. The name Jesus, 4 times, not used religiously. Balls, once. Bulge, once. Dickhead, twice. Foreplay, once. The name Christ, twice, not used religiously. Nail, once. Horny, once. Nipple, twice. Lord, once. In religious context for that one. Motherfucker, once. Porn, once. Hard, once. And then the word, and here's the thing about like something like hard, is it, this context when I tally it is used as far as a sexual use, like a certain body part being hard, whether it's a man or a woman. Not reference to like abs or a hard chest, like chiseled and a hard body. Nothing like that, but it's certain body parts in reference to. So, and nothing like, I dropped this object on the hard floor. Nothing like that. So it is used in a sexual use. Okay. And then the last word is fuck at 134 times. So those are the word usages. Now, I am going to read the author bio. I've actually remembered that this time. So I'm just going to go off of Goodreads for about the author. So I'm going to click on Lizzy Dent. So this bio is just according to Goodreads. So it says, Lizzy Dent misspent, miss is in parentheses, misspent her early 20s working in Scotland in hospitality in a hotel not unlike the one in this novel. I don't know what novel they're referring to. So it doesn't say. Anyway, let's see. Somehow she ended up in a glamorous job traveling the world creating content for various TV companies including MTV, Channel 4, Cartoon Network, and the BBC and ITV. I've heard of the BBC. I have not heard of ITV. But she always knew that writing was the thing she wanted to do, if only she could find the confidence. After publishing 3 young adult novels, she decided to write a novel that reflected the real world she knew. The real women she knew, who don't always know where they're going in life, but who always have fun doing it. The Summer Job is that novel. So that must have been the hotel reference that. So she does have a book. So she has several books out. There are, underneath Lizzy Dent, 4 books. It doesn't list her YA books. But the 4 adult books is The Summer Job, The Setup, I do on that one. That's the one I ordered. The Sweetest Revenge, which is the one we talked about in this video. And then Just One Taste. So Just One Taste is her more recent one, and The Summer Job looks like was her adult romance debut. So that is it. Let me know, have you read any of these books by Lizzy Dent? Does this sound like something that would be up your alley? Or is this a pass for you? Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.